Hey guys, Dr. Christy Ennis. Obviously, I love swimming, and today's workout is all about swimming and what you need to do to get a stronger core to help prevent injury and make you a better swimmer.
All right, so all of these exercises today, like I said, are focused in on the core. And as most sports do need the core, so does swimming. Now with swimming, there's a lot of rotational power that's needed, and even those lats have to kick in. So you'll notice that with every exercise that we do today. You will need a band of some sort, and that's it. A lot of times I will have people do these in between swim sets, so you don't want to have a lot of equipment in order to make sure you can do them. So you're going to go onto the side. If you need to, you can keep your knees bent, but we're going into a side plank. I'm going to hold the band down with one arm to get some resistance. I'm going to plank up, and as I do that, I'm adding a little bit of a row in there, coming back to that middle, and then adding a rotation. So again, working in through some of that shoulder stabilizer at the same time, we're getting a little bit of, or a lot of that, oblique and even into those gluteus medius muscles. All right, for that second exercise today, lying down with the band this time around the knees, either a loop band or you can tie a long one, really working through those hips and glutes with this one. So we're starting out with a standard bridge, tiny little tuck in that pelvis, squeeze those buns, lift on up. Here comes the sun, yay. You're going to really squeeze into that left butt cheek, raise that right leg. You're gonna bring that right leg out to the side without tilting that left leg. Back into the center, and then you're going to come down, same idea. Don't let the hips drop or dip. And you're going to keep repeating those two motions on one side for about 10 reps until you then switch to the other side. If that is too much to start with, clearly even just starting with a regular bridge will start to work those muscles. From there, you can even add in a little march until you're ready to do that single leg motion or even a single leg bridge just on its own. All right, for the third exercise, we're doing a form of push-up, and we're actually going to go up and down, although you do that with a push-up anyways, but up and down from the wrist to the forearms. This is now an anti-rotational, or really a stabilization exercise, because we don't want to rotate those hips, so really working into those obliques and clearly the arms too to help stabilize. So the most difficult version of this exercise is on those toes in a traditional push-up position. I usually go a little wider to help keep some stability there. So it's down onto those forearms, back up into that push-up position, turning those hands out just a little, and then adding that push-up in. Now, if that is just a little bit too much, you can drop to your knees and do the same thing, right? Coming down into that plank, up and into that push-up. And if you need a little bit more of a modification, the higher up you go, the easier it is. So if you have a table or a staircase like I do, or even a wall, that will make it the easiest. But same concept in that we still want to keep those feet wide. You're coming down into that forearm plank, back up onto those hands, and then adding that push up there. Our fourth exercise is back up standing. Still using that band. I am going to stand on it with my left hand, but grab it with the right arm. It's the left leg that's going to be working and the right arm that's going to be working so that we have some cross stability. Again, actually using in through these obliques a little bit, as well as those lats and that whole posterior or back of that leg. So let me face this way. Standing on just that left leg, shifting those hips back, going into that single leg deadlift, and then add that bit of a row. And then all the way back up, make sure you're getting a little pelvic tuck to really engage those glutes. So it's down, row, and up. All right, exercise number 5 is a classic. It's called the bird dog because it looks like a dog pointing. To make this one, well, we'll start with the basic form first. So that is going to be, make sure that shoulders are aligned over those hands, that your spine is in a happy neutral position. You're going to take the left leg and the right arm and straighten them out. Now with this one, you want to make sure that you're not rotating or dipping and arching. You should not really feel this too much in the back. You're using some of the small back muscles, but not the big ones. Now if that is too difficult to start, you can always start with one body part. Leg is a little bit easier than both leg and arm together, and just the arm is actually even a little bit easier. To make it even more challenging, you can stick one of those big blow-up balls right under there as well. But with this one, if you're doing both leg and arm, do try to try to rotate and alternate each side to really make that core work a little harder. Our last exercise of the day is the hardest one, so that's why I saved it for last, because it's always fun to do the hardest one last. All right, you will start in a push-up position. From here, you're going to go and make sure you don't use momentum. Really use your muscles to rotate your body off to the side. You're going to take this leg, and now that may be hard enough, and that's totally okay. But if you want to add that last part, it's bringing this leg up and then adding that little lift without dipping down. And then same idea when you come back to the middle, nice and controlled before you rotate over to that other side, and then add that leg lift. I usually have people start with only 5 of these as opposed to 10 of the other ones because this one is definitely a tough one. But there you have it, a great way to use all of those muscles that you really need for swimming. And even if you don't swim, it's still a great core workout.